working on another one right now that they want me to do. And then, mind you now, while I'm doing all that in the process, Quez in the NFL. And you know, me and Quez, like, he can attest that we weren't even that close. Like, not like we played. Yeah. Well, he was starting. I ain't starting. He was gone. I ain't starting my senior year.
Yeah.
Could have started, but I ain't take it serious like them guys did. And so he came back. And, you know, I know it was like a look like. Nigga, a reporter? Like, when the hell?
Nah, for real. Yeah.
So I interviewed him, man, and we just began to talk, got close, and he pitched his idea what he wanted to do. And here we are, bro.
Man.
Hate to walk you through all that.
Nah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful, man. That's really what's up.
So we just really been, man, just taking off, trying to give people spaces to tell their stories, to motivate other people. So that's what, you know, Work Wednesday.
Got you.
And so just Quez giving us all the opportunity to come back home, not being selfless, and giving us all the opportunity.
Hey, here, right? And I'm great, right? I'm with my dog, Los, and we got a great guest, right? I'm fanning out right now, so I'm a huge hoop fan, and we got a great here. Macon great,
for real,
right? And we get to catch on, you know, in the midst of on the trajectory to go on something higher, right? We got Mr. Kowacie Reeves Jr. here. Can't wait for this interview because, hey, man, we got
a lot to get into.
A lot of great stuff to talk about. It's a great individual, a man of many talents, a great human being overall. So I'm super excited for this conversation. A lot of knowledge is gonna be in this conversation, so we gotta, you know, put your ears on, man. Put some game up. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good, man. Yes, sir.
And appreciate you for coming in and gracing us with your time.
Oh yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah. So, Los.
First off, man, I want to really start from West Side, or before West Side, your upbringing, man, your background. Where we from? How was your upbringing? All that stuff, man.
I was born and raised in Macon, Georgia.
Macon?
Yep.
That time.
Mom and daddy born and raised in Macon, Georgia. They mom and daddy. So just my all around support system and family and whole upbringing was just, you know, a regular country Macon, Georgia upbringing. So I've seen the good, bad, and the in between of all that encompasses.
Yeah. Gotcha. Oh yeah. You like I said, a West Side graduate, Seminoles. Talk about your high school experience, man. You're a hooper. You know, when did you tap into your hooping skills?
Yeah, well, I think growing up in Macon, you know, really middle Georgia, I would say outside of really Atlanta, like football is really an emphasis outside of Atlanta when I would talk about Georgia. So, you know, I grew up playing everything like baseball, football, basketball, and then my parents kind of just put me in everything just to see what I would like. So I stopped playing baseball like 6th grade at Weaver when I first got to Weaver. Yeah.
Okay.
And then like I was telling y'all the story about that 8th grade summer going to the first day of pads at Westside, getting ready to go to high school, and I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna play basketball.
Told Coach Spoon?
Yeah, I told Coach Spoon, I'm like, yeah, Coach, I think I'm gonna go play basketball. And this time I'm like 5'8", so he's just like, wait, you sure? Like, I'm like, yeah, and then hopefully something gonna happen, but I don't want them pads right now. But yeah, so I would say that's kind of how I got into basketball as far as like choosing it as a sport I was gonna play. I would say probably my 9th grade year was official, like, this is what I'm gonna do. But up until that point, I kind of was just like any other kid that was exposed to a lot of sports, just either neighborhood or organized. I was playing at Central City Park in West Macon for baseball. So, I mean, just was playing at a lot of places, trying out a bunch of activities just as a kid, honestly.
Is there a history in the family of hoopers?
I would say it was more of a history on my mom and dad side in athletics more so than just hooping. Like my dad played basketball. My mom played basketball, but she really was pretty good at like softball, and she was like in the band as a majorette, so she liked to dance, party, you know. Yeah, so at Southwest back in the day. And then like my mom's mother was like really good at track and at Southwest, so like it's just a bunch of athletics, I would say, more so than hooping.
That was my question, right? Because saying you a generational kid from Macon, why West Side? Why not Northeast? Now, why not?
Right, yeah.
Both of my parents were the Southwest, so why not Southwest?
Exactly. That's what you know.
Yeah, I would say probably more so just circumstantial things. Like at that time when I was coming up, we had a guy by the name of ɪᴍᴜᴏ Moore, was really good, and Westside was getting a lot of exposure in the realm of basketball. And since that's what I chose to do, I mean, and I was leaving Weaver, so it was kind of like, you know, that feeder system from the middle school right up the street to the high school. So it just made sense to go to Westside.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So there ain't no rivalry in the house, is it?
No, it's not a rivalry house. And then Southwest, my assistant coach, who was my lifelong trainer, ɪᴍᴜᴏᴛᴏ, is now Southwest head coach. They just went to the state championship last year. So
they did. That's my guy.
So it's like I remember I just told you, I just coming from over there working out today. So yeah, nah.
So graduating from Westside, you have initially signed to play with Florida, right? University of Florida. Talk about that process. What that process was like going from Westside to Florida.
Well, my bad, cutting it off. But just say, why Florida?
Yeah.
To get us
Yeah.
What's your top three? Then going to, you chose Florida, then go, you know. Well,
so
because everybody probably wanted to. Bring it down to your just say your top three.
Yeah, so you know from playing football like that.
I mean, I kind of got lucky with me.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story. But you.
But as far as recruiting go, I just kind of like any other high school kid at the time. It was a little different because now you got NIL and transfer portal. So high school kids got less of opportunity. But that didn't exist when I was in high school. So, you know, they still was looking into high school kids. And I'm just was going to all these exposure events and, you know, staying with my Team Georgia Mag, Coach Derek Butts out of Baldwin, out of Millersville. I was making boys who would go with him and go to these tournaments, and then they would just line us up with the best independent teams or the shoe circuit teams that would be off the circuit that weekend. And that's how I kind of started getting recruited. And as far as schools go, you know, I'm grateful to have a parent and my dad and parents, but as far as my dad goes in basketball sense and just knowing people, he was able to help guide me, you know, throughout that process. I would say, you know, it was a bunch of schools, but it really wasn't. You know, you get an offer here and there, but you really know, like, okay, this is serious. I wasn't one of those kids like with the edit where they have 1,000 offers from every school on the country on there. I never was into that because I'm like, I only can go to one place, and then when I get to that one place, I'm gonna have to figure out how to get on the court. So I would say my top three schools actually, ironically, so it was Florida, Stanford, and Georgia Tech out of high school. Coach Pastner was still there at the time. And maybe if I had a little bit more time, because that was COVID, right, when I cut it to 3. So I didn't never really take an official visit to GT, even though I had took a bunch of unofficials, went to some games. I never got that real recruitment connection with GT, but they were in my top 3. In Florida, they just was the first school to ever recruit me when I was like 14, 15, and the coaches, the assistants there at the time, they was really high on me. They saw the potential, and then, you know, I kind of just stuck with them throughout the whole time.
You said that your dad gave you a lot of guidance. Could you paint a picture of what that guidance looked like at that time?
I was just, my dad, I don't, if a lot of people have met my dad, but my dad, he real good at dealing with people, like deciphering whether somebody is like lying, telling the truth, somebody a little shaky. Like he's really, really good at that. So I think that just inherent knowledge and that instinct that he has for calling like BS when he sees somebody, I think that was what that looked like for me. Like he could just be like, nah.
That ain't the school.
Yeah, he playing around, man.
How pivotal was that?
Yeah.
How pivotal was that? Because not every kid has that insight. But your dad able to pick that up, we ain't let my child go here. This ain't it.
Yeah, I think as I got older, I started to even develop that. But like you said, at the time, it was very pivotal, and it's even pivotal now, because like I catch myself doing it now, not even from just from a life standpoint, just noticing like, I don't really know about him, man. He looked like he sneaky a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, oh no, this right here, this is a good brother right here. So yeah.
When you get to Florida, what is that experience like?
It was very similar to my freshman year of high school, just like a freshman year of college. Just going in, it was the first year of transfer portal. I only had, it was only 2 freshmen on the team, me and a kid by the name of ɪᴍᴘᴏᴛᴏ. So just going in practice, seeing like, okay, we got a team full of 4th and 5th year seniors. Like, these guys are coming from other places, are already been here. They're really good. Some of them close to being in the NBA, close to being top pros overseas. Just seeing that work ethic again, like you said, you have to make another jump. Like, okay, this is what real work look like at this level. I got to figure out a way to get on the court. Okay, the way I play in this setting in high school is a little bit different from how they're trying to win and maneuver games in this setting.
So you go to Florida, played 2 years there, right?
Mm-hmm.
You transfer. What brought about the transfer?
I'll just say probably just a coaching change, because after my freshman year, Coach White, who's now the head coach at UGA, he left. So my sophomore year really wasn't the same staff that recruited me for my freshman year. So, you know, just trying to figure out what I wanted, balance, all of this, all of the above, you know.
Did you feel a difference when, say, when that coach left? Like your head coach leaving and the staff coming in, now you got to basically, do you think they played a part into the transfer, to open you up to transfer?
Yeah, I would definitely say it played a part into it. Like I said, I don't regret anything, though. I think I learned a lot about life just being in college in general, you know. But yeah, back to your question, I think it definitely played a part in me getting back home.
Well, excuse me, because maybe I worded that wrong. What I was asking is because, like, I seen your game go to another level by you coming to Georgia Tech, right? And that's a blessing because of that. And that's the blessing of the transfer portal. By having that, just say when I was in school,
you had
just
to
say
sit out a year.
You had to sit out a year, and that, you know, it's a big time waste. You know, that's super important for you trying to get to the next level, and you had this person hinder your growth, right? Well, and it ain't had nothing to do with necessarily you, and you see it all the time. So it's like, how did you manage that transition? Right, to be, you know, continue to, because you, at that moment, you have to build yourself back up, right? I have experienced that myself just on the football field, where, you know, again, it's nothing that you did, and however, you're the only one that'll technically, you know, pick you up at that moment, because, you know, the coach is gonna do his best for them, and, you know, that's all they gonna hit you with their favorite quote. You know, it's just, you know, it's about the team. It's better for business to do it this way, you know, and you holding your, you know, nothing at the end of the day. So that, can you tell or give some insight, right, to that mindset?
Yeah, I would say, I think it was kind of a manifestation of life. You know, I think sports teach you, like they say that a lot, sports teach you a lot of life lessons, and you learn a lot about yourself. You're able to grow through sports. And I think I was able to grow mentally a lot through those situations, because it taught me a lot about trials, tribulations, taught me a lot about adversity, perseverance. It taught me a lot about true mental toughness and what that means to not mentally break down even when you think you're at your lowest. And leaning on your work ethic, leaning on your faith, leaning on all the things that make up who you are. You know, like another cliche they say all the time, your character is determined by who you are in your worst moments rather than your best ones. So I think that indeed helped me with a certain mentality as far as on the court go, but definitely just a certain mentality when it comes to life, to know that life always brings about balance. So in your life, when you think that it's going the worst possible, you can find positive and light in that frustration, because you know it can't I can't have a life full of suffering in this specific context. It has to equal itself out, and it has to be a balance. So the good is going to come back around.
So during that transition and after that transition, was there a mental battle there? And if so, what was it, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, it was just a lot of, I feel like it probably was just a lot of confusion, you know. You just kind of struggle with self-doubt. You struggle with, you know, are you the same player you once were? Are you still capable? And then you kind of just look back and reflect upon that, and you get lost in the little things, and then you get lost in trying to, you know, build your character up outside of the court and make sure you're mentally right outside of the court. And then I feel like all that helps you, you know, to persevere and have a triumph, you know. I feel like you find a joy in that. You start to find a joy in, like, okay, I'm facing adversity here. Let me just block out whatever I think or whatever other people think or anything, and let me just sit in silence. Let me just lean on, you know, trying to build myself back up mentally and not feeling so mentally fatigued or mentally upset or have regrets. More so look at like the lessons that you learned. Look how far you came. Compare the time where you didn't even think you were going to play high major basketball, where you were just a 6-7-year-old kid or a middle school kid just playing for the fun of it, and like, dang, I'm here and I was once there, you know. Looking at all those things and measuring it, I think that helps you get up out of it.
So there was a mental battle in that transition. Why do you believe it was one or became one?
I think that on the college level, most kids, it's kind of a shock to them when they realize, when you hear the word business thrown around so much, and you, for your whole life, you've been playing sports for the innocence of it. Like when you go to a high school game, middle school game, you see kids out there celebrating, having fun, dapping up. They don't have a care in the world other than that they playing the game. It's so fun to them. And I think when you get to a level where finances are involved, livelihoods are involved, rankings and careers and things like that are involved, it's kind of a shock to a 17, 18-year-old kid, like, oh, if we don't win games, this dude's going to get fired. He's not going to be able to feed his family. So all that's a factor in how they look at me or not. Now, you have certain coaches that know how to balance that better than others. Like my coach now is really good with that life aspect. He always tells us that, like, I'm not y'all coach. I'm way more than that. So I don't want y'all looking at me like, no, coach. I'm here for everything. Because I'm really teaching y'all about from when y'all leave me. Because when y'all leave me, it ain't going to be people that had this much care or people that kind of explain the stuff that I try to explain to y'all. And I always, when he say that, you know, some of the guys maybe are confused because they still young, but I can attest to it because I've been able to play, so I know exactly what he's talking about. And that just makes you more grateful for it.
Did you not have that with your last coach at Florida?
I would say, yeah, it was just more kind of so a business thing, you know, or a so-called business, as I like to call it. I don't know, for me, I feel I don't know, there's a level of inherent integrity that you gotta have, and that's why I always praise my coach so much, because he's like an extension of my father as far as like his leadership, the way in which he analyzes situations, the pragmatism that he brings. He's always practical in situations. He's not trying to, you know, decipher or kind of, you know, he's not really having an agenda behind anything other than winning and helping kids get to where he once was, and helping kids, you know, by giving them an opportunity to fulfill their dreams. Anything beyond that, winning games, and then the other things I mentioned, he's not really into all the rest of the antics, and that's why I love so much about him.
During that transition, did you have to figure out who Kowacie was again? Yeah.
I definitely would say that, and I think, like I said, just really those nights when there's just nobody around you, you feeling at your worst, really looking into those moments and leaning on faith and leaning on the morals you was raised with, and leaning on the things that you know to be right, you know, treating people right even when it's going bad for you, having the selflessness to want for your brother or want for people that's around you more than you want for yourself. All those things, I feel like, put good energy into the air to where it has to come back full circle around to you, because you can't lead with hatred, you can't lead with resentment, regret, and envy, because I feel like that is when you start to worry about others' downfall more than you worry about their success. Even those who you felt have wronged you, you still have to hope that they will find the peace and they will find success, and they will find a way to get over adversity, because that helps you, honestly, to become at peace with yourself, to know that regardless of how anyone or you have perceived anyone to have done you, everybody gets what they deserve in the end.
That's a fact. And Quiz said this earlier, when you got to Georgia Tech, it's like your game just like went up. Like, it's different, I'll say that. And so when you got there, at what point did you find yourself again and you was like, I got to get back to not only being me, but being a better me?
That's a great question, man. My answer to that, I would say now, this year. And it may look like it was my first year or last year, but I was hurt the whole last season. So I really would say, to be honest with you, it would be this year in the off season, right when I got out the boot from my fractured foot and got out the boot from my injury. I just told myself I'm going back to the Kowacie Reeves that was that kid that never missed a day for anything, that went to the gym, went home, and really delved in character development and self-improvement in all aspects, however that looked like, and really figuring that out each and every day. And it's a battle, because just because you declare that does not mean adversity is not going to come, because you declaring that brings the adversity, because that is the test for you. So you can't say, oh, I'm finna do this, this, and this, and think nothing gonna happen. Like, you just gonna have a straight path to it. No, the test is going to come. And it's ups and downs, but I think the way I've been able to keep a level head is by immersing myself in the work of basketball and the innocence of basketball, and not worrying about the business or so-called business of it, because it don't really matter to me anymore in that sense of, like, it's at the forefront of my mind. It's still a part of the game at this level, which is always going to be, but it's not at the forefront of my thought process and how I approach the game anymore.
I'm going to say keep attacking that work, fam. Every day, you know what I'm saying? Keep attacking it. And I want to just, because I don't know how true this is, but since I got you here, you know, it came across my desk that you maybe published a couple books, right?
Yep.
Two.
Yep.
2 books,
Yes,
right?
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, can you elaborate on that? Before we're going to talk about the great season, which you about to have. But I just want to, you know, tell you about these books.
I got you. So again, like, Georgia Tech has been really good to me, and I'm really grateful to have being a graduate of GT. So the summer before last year, so after my first season at GT, that summer, instead of taking my summer classes at GT, I was able to study abroad and take them in Spain, in Barcelona, through the school. So they just took all the classes I would have took then, and they just let me go to a university in Spain for the summer, for like a Maymaster. So it's like a little small gap, like almost a month, like 3 weeks and some change. So I went there, and I just got to experience culture. I never had been out the country before. Like, I've been all around this country for basketball, but I never experienced another culture before outside of America.
How was that?
That's what
And I got to see, you know what I'm saying? I got to see, like, oh, these people, they don't have the same amount of revenue that we have as Americans, but their quality of life is, you know, depending on your perspective on life, maybe a little bit better. These people get out work siesta, they get out work for 2-3 hours and go spend time with their family. Everything closed, you can't get anything because
everything closed.
I'm just looking like, man, it's really
you
people.
in Shad one line then. Go ahead.
So I'm just like, man, you know, that's broadened my scope to start looking at all places abroad. And then I started going back through old files of myself as a kid and learning, really tapping back into the things that made me the kid I was outside of sports before I was engulfed into the sports world. And then that's where I found myself in writing. I was the kid that hated math, but I love history and English. I can tell you every single one of my English my English reading ELA and world history, American history, all my history teachers, because they was really good and they had a lot of impact on me as a kid. So all contextualizing all that, I always been a creative, so I always like to draw, like to write. I just started contextualizing all the thoughts that was going through my head, and then that's how I got my first book going.
And what's the name of that?
It's called I Am Not Your Doctrine.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's just a compilation of poems, memoirs. It's like a very, very brief autobiography, if I had to categorize it as one thing, like super, super brief autobiography / self-help book kind of. And my second book.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, go ahead.
What can we get that first book at?
It's at Amazon.
Amazon.
It's on Amazon. Yes,
All right.
I Am
Amazon.
Not Your Doctrine. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. On Amazon.
Amazon. Hey,
Yep.
AG, insert that.
Go get it. Go get it.
Yep. And the second book, it was kind of an extension of that first book of just me continuing to grow. It's called Nature's Renaissance, and I actually released it with this black-owned library / bookstore out in LA called Black Lantern Books.
Okay. They do
that
comic books.
Huh?
They do comic books.
No, they're like a library, so they have
Okay.
every genre, and then they're like a library and a bookstore.
Okay.
So they got everything.
Yeah.
They got everything. And then I thought it was cool because they were all black owned. It was like their first year. They had just opened. I was like, that would be cool to just exclusively release it with them, let them keep all the proceeds, because, obviously finances are very important, but in some circumstances, man, it's all about the education, man. I think about it all the time, man. I have the thought all the time, like, for all the money you could make, I don't necessarily think I've ever seen a casket with money full of it. Talk about it. So you got to put a purpose to that inscribing to gain revenue instead of being, I think it can often hinder our mindsets a lot when we think capital accumulation is so much about greed and want more and more and more. For what purpose, though? Once you find out your purpose, because if the purpose is for I want more and more to more just to have more for me, myself, selfishness, me, mine, I just don't think that's a very good mindset to have, because it might start rubbing off in other areas of your life. But when you have that selflessness to want to teach, or want to see somebody else, want to be proud of somebody else, want to give so someone else can receive, I think that would help you continue to have some stability in your life.
What was the ultimate goal in writing these books? What was you hoping to accomplish?
Actually, I wasn't hoping to really accomplish anything other than putting all the thoughts I overthink about it a lot into writing and contextualizing, and maybe had the courage to share it with some people, and hope they could find some light in that, in their own personal life and whatever they're going through, good or bad.
What do you overthink about?
I say I overthink, but maybe it's just normal. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
but I just think about everything.
Yeah.
Literally, you could say, we could just start talking about shoes, and in my head, I'm thinking about, man, everything under the sun about shoes, how much it costs to make them versus how much we spend on it, all type of stuff. All type of stuff.
And so now you at Georgia Tech. You're having a great season based on what I'm seeing. I mean, I even told you before we start recording, you're dunking on folks and everything. What is it like, though, having find Kowacie again and being who you want to be?
I'm always grateful for it, man. Like I said, leaning on faith, man. Just you really, once you develop a bit of humility, and you approach everything with humility, you acknowledge people, and you really start to recognize the smallness, how small you really are in the grand scheme of how everything works. Man, you open up a window for so much to happen for you unconsciously, just because I think so much
Thank you.
we good?
He talking about my phone. The interview.
Yeah, I think sometimes when we get, sometimes when we get so prideful, and that opens up the gate for you, to not be exalted. But when you display humility, you won't be obeyed. You will be exalted without even trying to be. So I think that's the true essence of what it means when I just say me getting back to myself. Really digging in on humility, really always being conscious of each and every individual, each and every circumstance, really having gratitude for waking up with all my hands, all my limbs, being able to smell, just waking up in general.
Grateful.
So much gratitude just for each and every day, each and every breath you get because somebody didn't wake up this morning.
Come on.
You have talked about your faith playing a part in, you know, becoming who you once was and even a better version of yourself now. Talk about how your faith plays such a vital part in all of that.
It's played a vital part just from keeping you grounded. Because we was talking about this off camera. You just have so much pulling you from the outside world. Go this way, do this, do that. Like most athletes have a pretty simple life outside of their profession because they are consumed by so much of things that people tell them to be consumed in. So, okay, I'm an athlete, I got all this money, let me be consumed in materialism. Let me get all the clothes, let me get all the cars. Okay, they tell you not to, you know, necessarily have one woman. Okay, let me get a whole bunch of women, and or if I got a woman, let me not be faithful just because the temptation of, you know, or whatever floats your boat. But I think the goal and the outcome of faith is to be around things that may distract you or things that are compromising or not of what you believe to be of good or be of necessarily benefit to your life, and not indulge and engage in said matters just because, and it's really hard. That's why you have a lot of people that struggle with whatever they're struggling with. So no judgment, but is, I would say, me really just allow myself to submit fully to and what I believe as far as faith goes, just really open my eyes into a whole new area. And it helps you so much on the court because you start to practice those even in that setting. So your communication skills might be better, or your leadership starts to be better because you can lead by example, and then you lead by example so much, now you're able to learn the different ways to talk to people. You know, playing, some teammates can take, man, come on. Or others might can take, let me just pull them to the side. Hey, man, you see this. Or some can take, oh, I might need to cut him out right here in this huddle. Like, you start to recognize those things with individuals, and I think that faith just teaches you so much about how people operate, how life operates, how worldly occurrences are, a lot of them are tests to put you in places of uncomfortability so you can become an even better person. And you can test those things that you say you're submitting to.
And you said submitting. What brought about that submission and why?
I would just say my overall, since I've been in college, just seeing, you know, college is kind of like a practice for life. Like, you grown, but you ain't all the way grown.
It's a preview.
Yeah, you grown, but you ain't all the way grown. Like, your bill's still paid for real, but, you know, you might miss a meal or two.
I missed your college.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, your bill's all right.
Yeah.
You're going to be all right.
Facts.
So,
Facts. I
I
never
think,
worry about it.
yeah, I think seeing like, oh, okay, if I wasn't in college, this person might wouldn't have got a second chance right here for this mistake they made. Okay, this person didn't get a second chance even though they was okay. Just seeing little things like that made me kind of try to decipher kind of what is right from wrong into my own personal life.
Okay.
Because I think right from wrong is relative to how you was raised, your perspective, your geographical background. Some people was born in other countries, in other places. Somebody from New York might think a moral from the perfect example, Southern hospitality. If you go in New York and say, hey, how you doing today, man? They're going to keep walking past you like you ain't even say that. You get down here and you say,
argue.
and you say, hey, how you doing today, ma'am? And the lady keep walking down here, so you're going to be like,
What's your
that's
problem?
what we used to do. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, like, just noticing little stuff like that. I think people, just noticing little tendencies of people and how to operate in a society full of people of different faiths, different beliefs, different professional occupations, different races, all of the things above. I think that just taught me that.
Wow. let's also talk about your faith being tested, because we all have that moment where all of our faith is tested. We want to quit. We want to give up. Talk about if there has been a moment when you just want to throw up your hands and just, if there has been a moment like that, and just say, man, bump all of it.
Yeah, I would say really getting hurt last year was really a test of my perseverance. Because just when you think you've gotten over things, so you're like, okay, come GT, doing good, recovering from whatever, then you get hurt. It's like a lot of those things come back and seep into your mind, the self-doubt and, oh, am I good enough, or am I gonna be perceived a certain way, and things that, you know, people say they don't think about or care about, but we really do inherently just because we're social beings as humans. So being in that boot, man, it was really hard. You know, you seeing the games pass by, it all becomes a blur. Like a lot of times people ask me about like teammates, they ask me, you remember we were playing such and such last year? I'm like, I don't remember nothing from last season, bro. I was in that boot most of the time, and my mind was so out of, you know, whack. I would say that definitely was a time I really had to look at myself like, man, what you want to do? What you want to do with yourself, what you want to do with life, what you want to do with hooping, what you want to do with all the stuff that you're connected to, really figure out that. And like I said, once again, my coach, man, I'm just grateful he took the time like to never be wavering as far as his position on me, his perspective on me. He like, Wacie, man, I know you're going to be all right. And whatever you need as far as talking, whatever we need to talk about, when that time comes, I'm going to be here with you. I'm here with you regardless. And that is important. That's more important than money. That's more important than anything, because at the end of the day, that is what kind of is going to be the backbone of you after you leave whatever settings you're in. People having a support system. I know I'm gonna be able to talk to my coach. I'm 30 years old, married with children. That is way more important than win a couple games for him and then, all right, man, go on about your business.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
If you didn't have your coach or any great people around you to play a part in bringing you back to who you were, what do you think you would be right now?
I don't know where I would be right now, but I've seen a lot of examples of people who didn't have that, and some, very few persevere from that. And it's not their fault. Everybody has their own free will to try to gain knowledge, but it's very hard when you're in an environment where you have a bunch of different distractions and avenues to go, street life or sports or college, or I might not got enough money for college, you know what I'm saying? It's very hard when you don't got a support system to guide you. So I always attest that to each and every person that has encountered me, that has helped raise me, from school teachers, from parents, coaches, just a person I might met at a grocery store one day and never seen them again, but they continue to watch and support on Facebook. Like all of that, it means something in this life, just because it's a lot of children that don't have that, and you know, they don't really get grace. But if they would have had that, maybe their outcomes would have been a little bit different. So I'm definitely grateful for that.
And you believe your beliefs also played a strong will in that?
Yes, but I believe those people also had a major part in shaping those beliefs.
Kind of elaborate more what you mean by that.
So we was talking off camera again. You was asking me, Quiz was asking me what would I want to do after I'm done hooping, right. Whenever that is down the line, 10, 30, 20,
about 20 years down the line.
Whenever, however many so years down the line. I was just telling them about the importance of education. I didn't know how much of formal I would be with it as far as the structure, but just because I would like to have a little bit more say-so over how it operates, but I was telling them the importance of it, the message was essentially talking about the importance of exposing children to different avenues of life and then letting them choose what they want to become. So by you just placing them in an environment where they can see basketball, football, but they also can read about astronauts and read about doctors and lawyers and read about these great anthropologists, not just here but abroad. Might spark the mind for somebody to go to another country and become a politician in Africa somewhere, or be here, come back grassroots to Middle Georgia and become mayor of one of these towns or cities, or on the city council and change, the quality of living for somebody. But I would say, in my situation, I was able to as I'm older, I'm able to reflect upon my situation and see how that was happening in real time to myself. Like I had a teacher, my junior year of high school, named Mr. Womack. Great teacher, like great teacher. He would literally make you come in, like make any student. Like, I've seen him take the most close to dropping out students, not graduating, street dudes, and they'll be in his class 7 in the morning, 6, 7 in the morning before breakfast even start. And they're literally doing work on, he has words all around his classroom. You have to pick a word and write a whole essay. You starting off your thesis with that word. Like I've seen how educators and just people supporting you and showing you different avenues of life can change your entire mindset.
Jeez. And so as a result now, that has, like you said, played a big part in your direction.
Yeah, and how I perceive other people. Because like you said, even when you don't, back to humility, you can understand that if somebody may seem a little off as far as they're going down the wrong path, or people may perceive them as a bad person, you can see the light in them when you look at their support system. So you're like, dang, they didn't have a father or a mom, or they didn't have, or they might have both, but they really wasn't present as far as their education went, or their personal development and moral character go. They might only cared about their sports, or might only cared about small increments that make that or the makeup of that particular person. So I'm able to see that in real time and try to do my part in unlocking that, maybe subtly or aggressively, depending on my relationship with the person.
So when that boot is on, are you thinking of letting your basketball career go at that point? Did that thought ever occur?
Yeah, it was times I thought like, man, this might just be over with. It might just be it. You know what I'm saying? And it was really tough, but I would say, man, once I declared like, okay, it started going the other way as far as the healing process went of my foot and stuff. I'm like telling myself every day, like, once I get out of this boot, man, I'm not listening to nothing. I'm just going straight to any way, anywhere. I'm hooping all the time, everywhere. Like, you can find me everywhere. Like literally, I got the boot I was going to. Literally just a random pickup game. They're like, that's basic. Nah, I'm just here. I'm out here. I'm like, y'all, let's hoop.
Let's hoop.
They're like, all right, we out here. They're like anybody. So I think that mindset, like I said, of having that humility to like, man, you ain't nobody, man. Come out here and play with anybody. It don't matter to these people. And when you have a mindset like that, where you don't want any acknowledgement for who you think you are, because all these things that we are attached to are what we perceive ourselves to be are so small in the large scheme of things, and they're manufactured by other people. So like, for instance, we don't really know who LeBron James is as a human being.
That's true.
But you know his brand, you know the name LeBron James.
Right.
So that's how I started looking at stuff like, man, go in here and play with anybody. I don't care who it is in here. So once I start doing that, those people will see that and they gravitate to that, like, oh, okay, he coming off injury, let's help him. Let's compete. Like, how you tell, man, such and such home, I know he don't play no more, but I remember, man, we used to play him. He used to give me a hard time. Hey, tell him come here. He know, okay, I'm playing against Wacie, I'm gonna play super hard. I need that. These are the type of people I'm finna have to play when I get in conference play. They're just a guy that ain't never, it didn't work all the way out for him. But if he was on this level, that's how he looked like. Yeah. He'll be 6'8" wing. I'll be athletic, can shoot. I gotta guard him. Right. So this same dude that nobody know who he is from Macon, I got to play against him because this is exactly how my matchup gonna look when we play in conference in the ACC.
Quez, I know you want to talk about the great season.
Yeah, I mean, essentially we kind of going into it. How do you get ready for this conference play, right? Can you give us a little, just a weekly schedule? How you go? How it look like you preparing for practice? And then getting ready to the game, then your game day. How did that look?
Yeah, I think consistency, man. Consistency is really an important factor when you get into all the technical things which help you as being a good basketball player, or a solid basketball player. And like I said, it's a reflection on your life. What they say, however you do anything is how you do everything. So that's like that's another cliche, but it's so true.
Come on.
So for me, like if whether I have 20 points or 0 points, my schedule is the exact same. If we played yesterday, the next day I'm always going to get depending on how my body feeling, maybe hard or less, but I'm always going to work out that next morning. Even we played yesterday, I drove home this morning back in the gym, and I'm not missing a day. Whether it's lighter or the intensity is lighter or harder is depending on my body. But as far as like getting the work in, never missing a day. As far as consistency go, and then obviously the little stuff that you have to do, getting your body right, eating right. And when I say eating right, that's for whatever is your specific plan. So if you're a guy that's a little heavier, you can't eat a hot when you plate. Yeah. If you're a guy like me that has to constantly try to gain muscle mass, don't eat all these carbs. Get you some protein shakes in. Yeah.
Okay.
So the goal now, obviously, NBA, right?
Yeah, I would just say next level.
Next level
for sure.
Oh, you don't even want to think of it.
Yeah.
We can't talk about it like that. Yeah. I know you ain't no athlete.
So we ain't got to do that.
You used to
hold
the microphone and be on the camera. But
Analyst.
You can't really talk about, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know.
Y'all get it. I'm glad y'all get it.
Yeah. So again, the goal is, to put a product, his best product out every time you get a chance.
Yep.
Well, technically, that's what you've been doing that tech, and you've been showing that by, again, just saying, I don't know too much about basketball, but just as a professional athlete to another professional athlete, because that's what you are. Right. You know what I'm saying? Especially with that NIL, continue to send a check to my man's. But again, like you said, consistency. The biggest thing is routine. That's go into consistency. Find your routine, master your routine. Because regardless, like you said, if you make 20 baskets or 0 basket, you going in with the same mindset every day. And just know it gonna balance like life. Again, that's what I see, right, is a person who enjoying basketball. It's easy for him, it's flowing. And to continue to love the game, bro. Like truly. And it shows with your play. So again, continue attacking today, bro. I know he ain't. We ain't gonna.
Bro, we know I'm not an athlete. But look, what I do good, right?
Yeah. 100%. Okay. Now, you got ACC play up, which is ACC is big, and basketball. You got a lot of guys, but Tech produce pros, which that's what you looking like, my boy. Keep it up.
Yes, sir.
Hey, good luck the rest of the season. We're gonna be rooting for you.
Sure. Do got one more thing I want to ask though.
Go ahead.
Okay. Probably a couple more things.
Yeah.
Has your structure always been like that when you talk about consistency and discipline?
That is a good question.
I would say, especially all the way up to high school and my freshman year, very all the way like that. Very work ethic, huge. I'm talking about don't miss a day. I'm in my freshman year, I didn't even play for the first a lot of games in non-conference, but my mindset never shifted. I was in the gym 6 a.m. Weights at 8, class. After that, come back, work out again, practice. Later at night, working again, like it just was normal. And you still might not get in the game. But it didn't matter because I knew once I got in the game, all that was going to have to show. Because no way. You know what I'm saying? I would say going through adversity in my sophomore year, that was when it's kind of, you got to figure out, okay, don't let this self-doubt creep into your work ethic. Don't let this self-doubt keep you from not going to the gym. You really have to fight that, because it's like, well, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? And then you get back to a point where it's like, it does matter though. Because I start to contextualize it like this, like athletics is such a small percentage of people that get an opportunity to be where you're at. So a lot of people look at that and they're gain hope from that. It may not be gain hope to go to the NBA or NFL, but they gain hope to go and get up and go punch that clock and drive them 18 hours on that 18-wheeler. Or go get up and go teach them kids the next morning. Go get up and don't know how they going to pay their mortgage or their rent on their house, but they got some kids in there and they got to figure it out. And they might see your highlight come across like, dang, he from right here where I'm from. Let me go get this money today. So when I started, once again, you start thinking about it like that, it's like I'm so little as far as the stuff that is really into my life that is a hindrance or that I perceive as bad. When there's people out here that's going through some really, really hard times, and you may be the only light in the midst of their frustration. So if you're so caught up in your frustration that you're not trying to show any light anymore, you may be doing somebody else a disservice.
So you see your hard play as a motivational driver.
Yes, definitely.
Just curious. What made you like that? Was your dad? Was your mom made you so consistent? Because to me, right, that's you just explained. Shout out to Coach B. Discipline, right? My definition of discipline is doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it all the time, right? So that regardless if if it's 1,000 people there, 0 people there, you're gonna do the right thing all the time. That is discipline, and it sounds like that's what you've been your whole life, which that's gonna continue to be fruitful for you. What made you that? I got a son, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He like basketball right now.
Yeah.
He want to be a hooper.
Yeah.
So I'm
Trying to get him out of that game sometime.
You feel me? I gotta go, go talk.
Yeah.
Go talk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
I would say
that insight.
I would say what shaped my work ethic is definitely my dad is like a hoop fanatic. So being around it and him always preaching work ethic, because he's a guy that's like I said, he's very good at deciphering things about people. So he can see a very good player and be like, he don't work, he don't want it. I'd be like, what you mean he don't want it, man? He scored 30. I'm like, he don't work hard. What you mean? I'm like, yeah. And then once I started seeing it, as I continued to go in basketball, you start seeing people like, dang, this dude used to be a 30-point scorer. He don't even play basketball no more. He ain't want it. That's what my dad was saying as far as work. Because you got to want it. Like you said, even when you don't feel like going to the gym today, you still got to go. Even when you messed up financially, you still got to go. Even when you may have any little discrepancy in your life, you still got to go and do what you're supposed to do, whether you feel like you're not doing it. Back to your point.
What would you say to athletes who are in love with the process, who are not in love with the process, but just want to play the game? And that's any sport.
Can I rephrase that?
Yeah, because I might have asked it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the people who playing the game for what it's for.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm trying to say.
Rewards.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Right? People, a lot of which I had the experience that, which I know you have that same experience as well in the locker room. People don't really care about, like you waking up every day, putting the time in. It's kind of the same thing with Kobe Bryant. We're harping on why I'm passing it to this dude.
Yeah.
And I know this dude don't even show up till practice, till when time coach.
People used to get mad at Kobe for that.
So it's like, again, what advice, for the people who, for the love of the game, because you got some people for the love of the game, then you got for what the game do.
Bring
the
fame and all
the glitz and the glamour.
Well, what I would say, if you're doing something, anything, not just basketball, if you're doing anything for the praise and the benefit of other human beings, other human beings are always going to fail you in that sense.
What?
Because soon as your accolades are not the same, as soon as y'all stop winning, as soon as you don't make the shots that you were once making, those same people that said that, oh, you were so good, they're going to say you terrible. So doing stuff for benefits.
Shut up, Quay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's your world. That's your world. But
And I understand professions too. So I understand journalism and media. So like that's their job.
I don't do that.
People, I know what you're saying, but I'm just saying
throwing
some people that do that. I understand you doing what you got to do as far as creating narratives and however you perceive
the truth,
things. Yeah. But as far as people are doing things for rewards and glitz and glamour and fame, I just would say in the end you're only gonna remember the process. So if you lived off the fame, you still in the end only gonna remember the process. You're gonna look up and be like, dang, I remember we used to have to go to the field house and lift weight with Coke. Dang, I remember we used to have to. I was out in the 9th grade, man. I used to have to do gases and it was hard, but then by the time I was a senior, man, I used to knock out 1,000, however many gases easy. Up 9 wasn't nothing. Like you gonna remember that, but you're not gonna really, or you gonna remember like the accolades are not going to outweigh the process in the end when you remember. Because in the end, that's all you have is the memories.
Yep.
Our coach tell us 1,000 stories about when he played because that's what he got, the memories, as far as when he was a player. And that's all you're going to have is that camaraderie between you and your brothers and the brotherhood y'all created. When you look at it and like, oh, we won 10 games in a row. When you think about those 10 games in a row, you're going to be thinking about the process in between it. Dang, I remember that time such and such them got to fight in practice in them 10 games. We had to break it up, man, and we went out and beat the team by 50.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you're going to remember. So I would say you have to be in love with the process because in the end, that's the only thing that's going to matter is the process. That's like they say, the destination is never the thing that excites you. It's the journey to get there.
We talked about your mentality and what it took to get back to who you were and a better person. How proud are you of you?
I am proud of myself, but just the humility that I'm beginning to develop never really lets me look at myself in that sense. But I definitely am proud of the way in which the journey has taken me as far as me being able to see and learn, me being able to face those trials and tribulations that people allude to when they saying in speeches and metaphors and things like that. So I'm definitely proud of the fact that I've been able to develop certain characteristics about myself through the circumstances that I've been put through.
I'm gonna say I'm proud of you, bro.
Appreciate
you gotta most definitely give yourself grace too.
Thank you for taking out my mouth.
You know, because again, bro, a lot of hard work. You know what I'm saying? Have been put into this, all this stuff that you getting, and the stuff that's coming. That what you have worked for. Don't you ever forget it.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Like a lot of times, like I was telling you, you know, off camera, people use your humility sometimes against you. So be weary. Right? But hey, it's okay to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Hey, 24-hour rule, that's how I live. You're gonna celebrate for that 24 hours,
Right.
gonna maximize, then the next day we back to work.
That's what Coach said. At 12 o'clock, scratch it.
Hey.
Y'all got it to 12. At 12, scratch it.
You get what I'm saying? Start over.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's that mindset. Because again, it's a lot of time, a lot of effort. Again, we get to see the finished product, bro. You get what I'm saying? But it's a lot of ingredients that we don't know. It's a lot of stuff like, you know, you being in the booth, I done had those days. Yeah. You know, I done sat on those tables. I done had them long nights.
Yeah.
Where they ain't need somebody else to push you out of bed even to
Just
get
go
to.
try to get back, go to therapy.
You get what
and
I'm
all
saying?
that. Yeah.
So like, don't, give yourself some grace, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
again, that's the blessing in it. You get to choose your heart. You feel me? That's the trick in it, right? Continue to choose your heart, but understand, like, hey, bro, you 1%, you less than 1%, right? You where you supposed to be. Hey, wear that proudly. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Not a DQ done preaching.
My bad.
I'm gonna just add on to it a little bit. What I will say, man, one of the most important things, and I even tell my mentees is, and I talk to our team in the group, like, you only got 24 hours to make it count. And you're making it count. And so I'm with Quez, like, give yourself some type of grace and be proud of yourself. Now, this coming from a person who I don't look at none of my accolades either. You know, people like, you doing this, you doing that, but I don't have time to focus on that. I'm out here trying to, I'm trying to bring about impact. I'm trying to help people. That's gonna come with it anyway. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, being where I'm supposed to be, the accolades gonna come anyway. So I don't have to worry about that. So what I would just tell you to do, even the low places we have all been in, man, when you get back to being a better person than you even was before that, appreciate that, lean into it, because you haven't been by yourself. There are times where, and I haven't even shared this with them, my team, that even being on TV, there have been times where I wanted to give up because it's just like, what I'm doing, is it enough? You know, because I'm so big on making sure I can impact somebody through storytelling. Y'all talked about it a few minutes ago when, you know, analysts or anchors try to flip to narrative on certain things and create their own narrative. And I pride myself in not doing that because at the end of the day, the athlete that person you interview or talk to, you're going to look them in the face again. And you're going to have to talk to them. And I don't want to have to look somebody in the face knowing I lied on them on TV. And in this case, I know a lot of people say local, but we're not even local no more. We national. Everybody got a streaming service. They're able to see you from an app, so you global. So I'm just saying, man, like, really lean into your greatness, your overcoming. And we all know we're going to continue to have storm. They're going to come. I mean, we need them because they build who we are and who we become. So be proud of yourself, be grateful, and just know, man, you ain't ever alone out here.
Yeah,
I done been where you been. And I know Quay had too. Yeah. Not to speak on your behalf.
Daily, sir. Daily. I'm just going to say that too, though. Just say, super random. All right, super random. But going out for the game, what you need? Brand new shoes, sleeve, headband. Like, is there certain things you go to the equipment man, like, hey man, I need this. I can't play without this. I need my lucky.
I just need my. I don't know. I just need my shorts a good side. Okay. I don't want no little booty shot. Okay. That's it. Like, that's it. And if they come out with it like, nah, let me get that large or that XL. I don't need it little medium right here. Yeah.
I'm straight.
Okay.
Yeah. That's about it.
So I ain't nothing else. I'm showing up a hoop.
Yeah. I'm good.
So I'm a little different. I had to like.
Let me get my visor right.
Everything
I feel that too.
You know what I'm saying? That could have boosted my confidence.
Yeah.
So that's what you did in high school then?
Absolutely.
Well, that joke had everything. It was visor and all.
It was a persona. Yeah. You know, it's a persona I can be able to step in and, you know.
You got to be, like they say, a different animal out there on that field.
Exactly. Trick myself.
I'm gonna get it to him. He was straight.
He was straight.
Now he was good though. In his head, he probably decent, but we know what we seen.
Yeah.
Y'all to the NFL for a reason.
Yeah.
I was decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so curious because you, like you said before, you came out of high school before the transfer portal and the NIL. Now experiencing it, what do you think?
So I came out of when I came out of high school, it was the first year of the transfer portal. So I think it's been cool to see how it gradually has become different.
Yes.
Like at first, it really didn't have anything to do with the school. It was more so like
boosters.
Post these Bojangles, we'll give you free chicken biscuit. Then it got to okay, now the school have built a collective, and then now a player get a contract, and then it went up to now it's revenue sharing. So we're gonna make these video games, y'all get some money. Y'all jersey sales, y'all get some money for that. So I think that's cool. Given the statistics of how many young men and women won't go to the NBA or NFL or whatever, MLB, whatever other leagues, I think I would never not tell a kid to go financially liberate themselves. Just I would hope they have the right support system around them to make that growth. Because you could use this avenue you won't have to work again.
Come on.
Kids are signing $800,000, $300,000. That's money adults are not making.
Yes.
That's money that adults are making and not even seeing all of that. You a college student, you don't got to pay for your food. You don't got to pay for your rent. Most of the things that are necessities in your life, you don't have your clothes. You can wear the team gear every day. When you look at it from that standpoint, you really can financially liberate yourself through NIL, regardless of however your contract looks. If you apply your discipline that you have in your sport to your finances. Even me, I'm not that financially literate as far as all these compound interests and surpluses and all these things, but I just know, country you raised, boy, you get some money and don't just be doing anything, man. You put it all up. And then when you look back, you're still gonna be right there. So, you know, then I take little tips from people that been working with all this big money and like, okay, compound interest and stock market, okay, that makes sense. Investments and all that makes sense. So I delve a little bit into trying to become more financially literate in that sense. But as far as NIL as a whole, I think it's definitely giving young men and women an opportunity to, you know, get to financially liberate themselves either for the rest of their life in the top players' cases and in an average player, solid player case, to get them a good start on life once they get out of the setting where most of their necessities are taken care of. Also in transfer portal, I think the benefits of that, if a player may not be in a circumstance that fits them, finding a circumstance that fits them. Obviously, there are pros and cons to everything. You know, people may transfer 4 times in 4 years and not even have enough credits to graduate. That's like, might be a con. But a pro could be somebody leaves somewhere, goes to another place, finds a new home where they become a legend there. Yeah. Bring that place a Final Four appearance or a chip that they never been to before or something like that. So I think it's pros and cons to each NIL and transfer portal, but I definitely think they're necessities. They are needed.
Okay. To the point where do you think it's harder for the athlete? I mean, the high school athlete now, especially with just saying the lower level guys. You see a lot of high school kids not going to unless they, you know, big time guys that's, like you said, part of the 1%. Mm-hmm. How hard it is, you think, for the high school athlete to be able to get found, and any advice for the high school athlete to, you know, better help them navigate through this NIL transfer portal?
I would say, yeah, I think my class, 2021, I think we were the last class that got over the hump, like as far as how coaches approach recruiting. Because now coaches have a whole new perspective when it comes to recruiting because of transfer portal and because of NIL. So it's like, if you're not on that ESPN top 100 or if you're not one of those top high school players, it's really harder on you. Yeah. And it ain't your fault, but that's just how the rules are set now because a coach would rather go get a solid guy that played at this other school and averaged 12, 13 points that he knows they've been playing on the same level that he's coaching at, that they're going to give me that production. Because that's their body of work. Yeah. Then a high school guy, they might be guessing on that it's not a top guy that's McDonald level tier and all that. Now, obviously, you got exceptions because you got many NBA players and NFL players that weren't ranked, that had none of that. But as far as your recruitment go, if you're a kid that's getting recruited at whatever level, so if you're getting the maybe mid-major, the Alcorns or Kennesaw States or whatever, however, are you getting the Dukes in Kentucky? I would just say if you're a high school kid that's getting recruited regardless of level, take it serious and make your decision logically, but I think you have to have a sense of urgency now. You don't have time to be, because coaches have less patience when it comes to high school kids, even the top kids.
Yeah. They go get a, like you said, somebody who's 22, 21, who's trying to get to that next level.
Yeah, they already a sophomore or junior. They done been averaging a lot of points in college or been producing on a team that's been winning at that level. So it's like, why would I not want to take them?
Before we let everybody go, tell us again the name of your books and where we can get them at.
So I have the first one is called I Am Not Your Doctrine. It's on Amazon. And then the second one is Nature's Renaissance, and it's on Instagram at Black Lantern Books and Legacy Library.
All right, go put it in your cart, get it.
Right now.
Yeah, like now.
Right now.
Bless your life. Hey man, we appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate y'all, brother. Appreciate y'all.
Really appreciate this.
Yes, sir.
Wishing you nothing but much success. Quez, you don't never do it, so you can close us out.
You know, man, it's been another Work Wednesday for the group. Appreciate you guys. Go make your dailies. Shout out to Wacie, man. Come and show us love to the game. Appreciate you, man. Good luck the rest of the way. Yes, hey, man.
Oh, shout out to your daddy, too.
Yes, sir.
But he played a big part in this, so I'm saying it publicly. Appreciate you, my guy.
Yes, sir. Shout out
real
to
Wacie. Wacie Reeves Sr.
Okay, shout out.
That's a wrap.